Sound.
Cool. Right, let's rock and roll. Bit of Lego Batman again.
Let's do it.
So,
Tell me about Ant-Man 3.
I'm going to tell you about Ant-Man 3. It's getting a lot of hate, Ant-Man 3. And I actually think it's a relatively good movie. They're kind of tarring it with the same brush as the Eternals. And the Eternals was shit. I don't know if you saw the Eternals.
No, I never saw that because everybody said it was bollocks.
It really was.
It's a shame because Bobby Stark's in it, Rob Stark, and I like him. I forget his name, but I like him.
Jon Snow's in it as well.
Oh, is he?
And it's really distracting because they're both trying to go after the kind of same bird.
Oh, right.
So it's kind of that's weird, but I mean Eternals is terrible and it's long. It's like nearly 3 hours long, so it's like a bad movie and it's super long.
Yeah.
Whereas Ant-Man is like a reasonable length.
Okay.
And I actually really liked it. Like I don't know how it will hold up to a sort of rewatch, but it's got quite a dark sense of humour, which I kind of liked.
Okay.
And I mean, it fills in a backstory about what happened to Janet Van Dyne when she was in the quantum realm, and it introduces like your new big bad villain.
Yeah, because it's what's his name, Kang.
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror.
He's like are they building up for him to be like the next Thanos level Avengers?
Yeah.
Like threat. Okay.
Yeah. And he's, I think the portrayal of him in that is great.
Yeah. Kang, I don't know much about, but I know he's meant to be like pretty scary.
He's technologically well equipped.
Cool.
He's got technology from the far future. So like he goes up again. He's familiar with the Avengers and he's been up against them before, and he's kind of like you all sort of blur into one at this point. And so he's a good credible threat. Although he does get taken down in the end, it feels like only just.
Right.
Like he kind of gets a right backhanded sort of defeat, which is a bit of a shame. I kind of hope that they would just have him so the whole plot just centres around him trying to get out of the quantum realm.
Right.
So he's kind of stuck in the quantum realm where they pulled Janet Van Dyne in the second movie.
Right.
And the second Ant-Man movie it's weird because I'd say the second Ant-Man movie is worse than the third one.
Right.
Because the second one's just really badly edited.
Okay.
So it's got like it's terribly paced. Whereas this one was actually pretty good. It was like well paced. I was not bored at any point watching it. And let's say it kind of gets you, a bit of jokey. Like here's where Ant-Man is now after becoming an Avenger. Versus what where he came from, ex-convict and all that. So he's free, he's on the streets, he's hanging out with people, he's having a generally good time. It's not Michael Cera, I can't mind. What's the Spanish guy from Ant-Man who does the sort of fast talking? I can't mind his name. What does he look like? He's the sort of Spanishy dude. I don't think he's been in. I don't know what else he's been in, but so he's not in it. Normally he made he kind of made a appearance in the Ant-Man movies.
Is this the motherfucking suit that?
You have to point your thing.
Okay, I'm being a flathead.
He makes an appearance to give like a sort of real speed summary of like what's been going down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't make an appearance in this movie, which is a bit of a shame. But I mean. You've got Ant-Man, you've got the Wasp, you've got Hank Pym, you've got Janet Van Dyne, and you've got his daughter, Cassie. I think it's just as well they kind of left out the others, because it'd be too busy otherwise. And you've got Kang.
Yeah.
And I think Kang's set up really well in it. He gets dumped in the quantum realm, kind of similar to how Janet Van Dyne is, sort of by accident. She tries to help him fix his mad machine to go back. Nice, cool. Just pulling all that. And when they finish sort of fixing his machine,
you are run.
She gets like a swatch at what he's been up to, and she's like, "You're a fucking nutter, mate." So she uses the mad sort of discs that let things grow or shrink, and just kind of wrecks his sort of the engine for his. It's basically an interdimensional transporter.
Mm-hmm.
So she makes its energy.
Portal gun.
Aye, but it's a ship. Aye, it's a portal gun.
Yeah.
Aye, basically, but it's a big ship, and aye. So that's how she kind of betrays him. So that's the backstory with the two of them, and obviously he's now trapped in the quantum realm. But when she managed to get out, he obviously, well, I don't know. He doesn't obviously know it, but part of the story is Ant-Man's daughter has like sort of put a, what's the word I'm looking for? Put a beacon out basically into the quantum realm. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. And they basically detected her. So they're like, oh shit, there's people aware of our presence. So they get sucked into the quantum realm, and you kind of find out a bit of her, you know, Janet Van Dyne's backstory of to how she, like, what she got up to in the quantum realm. Turns out she spent a lot of time banging dudes.
Right.
Like, every man they come across, they're like, oh, didn't we have some fun, Janet? And, you know, it's like Hank's pure right there. Kind of like, well, get fucked.
Why?
Yeah. And
why won't you climb the ladder?
she's kind of like, well, I was gone for 10 years. I had needs.
Oh, right.
And he's sort of like, no, you were the only woman for me. And I was like, oh, actually, kind of, I get it. They both had needs.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
You know, but
the thing is that it won't be. Oh, well, I'm not getting on that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think.
but Bill Murray pumped her. It's kind of the impression you get.
Bill Murray's like.
Well, exactly. Well, he's an alien in this. I don't know. He's not strictly human, but he's like, I've got all the parts, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, right, whatever. And they steal fucking Bill Murray's ship, and go off to kind of save Scott. So Ant-Man himself has been picked up by Kang, more or less straight away. Him and Cassie are sort of fanning about, but more or less he gets picked up by Kang. And you find out that Kang found Yellow Jacket. Do you mind Yellow Jacket for the first movie?
I've never seen Ant-Man.
You've never seen the original Ant-Man?
No.
My goodness.
I know I'm a failure.
I would say you're a failure, but
It was right when I'm trying to think why I never saw it. I think that was when I'd sort of not stopped caring, but like I was at the point where I was like, right, okay, I was only really seeing
the main ones.
the Avengers ones, like the main ones.
Or
it was one of those ones I was like, I'll see it when it kind of is on DVD or what have you.
He's basically the baddie. Oh
Yeah.
shit, didn't mean that. He's the baddie for Ant-Man. But at the end of Ant-Man, he kind of gets like compressed, like so he's shrunk, but his body gets compressed, so he becomes M.O.D.O.K. Because in the quantum realm, he's disproportionate.
Right.
So I was like, that's. I mean, I'm not. I like there's a M.O.D.O.K TV series on Disney Plus, which is Oswald Patton does his voice. You'd know him if you heard them.
Yeah, I definitely recognise him.
And he does a great job. For me, he is like M.O.D.O.K. But I like the fact that they've kind of changed it up a wee bit as well. But I think what's getting a lot of hate is the CG for M.O.D.O.K.
A lot of the like YouTube videos and things like that, that's been the thumbnail. It's just a picture of M.O.D.O.K. And I don't think it looks that weird, but it's a screenshot versus in the film. Maybe it does.
It's not great. And he has a random redemption arc, and he's sort of like at the end, you know, it's weird. It's weird. There's no two ways about it, but at least the movie's well aware that it's weird. Let's say the tone of the movie is kind of sort of dark humour. Like even at the end of the movie, like Ant-Man's like, you know, sort of like walking along quite cheery, and then he kind of like sort of really has a think about what just happened in the movie. And he's like, God, have I like destroyed the universe? And then he goes, it's probably fine, fuck it, you know. Just kind of moves on, you know. Okay. Oh, there we go.
What happened there?
We need we need to get the street sweeper on there again. So M.O.D.O.K has a bit of a redemption arc. He tries to kill them and then he doesn't, more or less. Antman has to do some stuff to help Kang get his mad fucking portal gun or whatever, which he does. But then they stop him in the end. So they have a big fight. And there's some cool moments in the fight. I mean, there's a bit where he goes like, because he can do his giant man routine, so he can kind of swap between small to like huge. And there's a bit where he just picks up fucking Kang and just pure like smashes him into the wall. And he's just like, that was nothing, you know what I mean? So they have quite a cool fight. Kang forgets that he has lasers that can just disintegrate people during that fight, but you know what I mean, it's you know, he's got plot armor, he's Antman. I actually thought, like, again, if they had some balls, which they kind of don't anymore in the MCU moves, that it'd be cool, because Scott Lang does die in some of the storylines, or Hank Pym could have died.
Somebody could have died.
Yeah, but no.
It's partly that they don't have balls, and it's partly that everybody's contract says what it says.
Everyone who's here is kind of here for the foreseeable.
Yeah. The Rock apparently has got it in his contract where like all his fights have to be like pure one-sided, like in his favour and shit like that. Which apparently, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I've never watched the Fast and the Furious movies, but not since like fucking Tokyo Drift.
Trying to figure out which Fast and Furious films you have and haven't seen. It's actually like surprisingly difficult. Because I was speaking to somebody, I was like, what's the one where they're in Rio? And he was like, dude, that's like 5. And I'm like, really?
Right.
Whereas Fast X is coming out now, is it not?
I know.
Which presumably means 10.
Yeah. And then there's Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know if that's like part of the
I don't know if that counts as number 9 or if it counts as a separate.
Who knows, man. But just to conclude on Ant-Man, so basically he beats Kang in the end. Surprise, surprise. Everyone's fine. They come out of the quantum realm, and then
how's it like a backhanded like victory? How do you mean? Does he like slip on a banana peel?
Long story short, Hank Pym has some ants at the start of the movie that get sucked into the quantum realm, and they apparently go into some time dilation and evolve like 10 million years or something, and they come to help him. So these fucking like super like million-year-old, you know, hyper-evolved ants save the day basically.
Okay.
And they beat Kang.
So it's not even like Ant-Man that does?
It's the super ants from the future or whatever bullshit. And they just come and basically like 1,000 of them just come and rip the shit out of his fortress and all his army and.
Oh, you could probably jump on that bit on the left.
You
and glide over.
Probably. Probably the intent. Oh no, I can use this.
Oh, yeah, we could make it like 10 times easier.
I think if I do this.
Gonna get on it! Right,
well, I don't even know how to raise it. Even if I got you on. Oh, I just smash all these apparently.
No, surely it raises up.
No. It kind of looks like it should, but you just build the ladder. It's fucking a forklift truck.
We're trying too hard.
Yeah,
to come up
we're
with
overthinking this. So then your post-credit sequence is all the Kangs, all the variants of Kangs are having a meeting. So you realise that there's more Kangs coming.
Council of Ricks.
Yeah, it is the Council of Ricks. Again, in normal kind of MCU like stories, and I say normal, I'm talking like the Kang Dynasty and proper like comics about Kang. He's basically the same version of Kang all the time, but in this there was like a pure Egyptian version and shit. Oh, that is dumped me there. I don't know why it's done that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. And I would say that kind of ruined the movie a wee bit for me.
Can you not glide your clock?
Yeah, I can, but I screwed it up. That kind of screwed it for me a wee bit, because they were talking about, Johnathan Majors, he's such a versatile actor. I thought he was dog shit playing other versions of Kang.
Yeah.
They was meant to play like 3 different versions of Kang at the same time. And I was
jump
like,
on that. See that little red thing?
Can I just jump on it? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, no, he was dog shit. He was absolute dog shit. As soon as he wasn't playing the main Kang, I was like, what? Is this like some kind of like children's TV acting?
I'm not familiar with this gentleman. What else is he been in?
I don't think he's been in anything. He's in Creed 2.
Oh, Creed 2 was shit.
No, sorry, Creed 3, the new Creed.
I haven't seen that.
Exactly, sorry, he's in the new Creed. I think I just need to bring the forklift round and smash that. But it was honestly, it was painful acting. And they're like, oh, we picked him to be like Kang because he's like so versatile. And I was like, main Kang's really good. Like as the villain, he was really good as the main sort of the exile. He's basically the exiled Kang. He's the Kang who was so badass that they had to exile him.
The rickest Rick of them all.
Yeah, he was the rickest Rick. And I was like, no, he was good, but when he was playing like different versions of himself, they were like pure comical exaggerations of like the main one. I was like, if that really is the main one dead, then I'm not looking forward to it, because these 3 variant versions are not. Feels like there's a bit missing still. You must be able to like jump up here or something. Oh, yeah, I can just jump up on that ledge. These variant versions are not interesting whatsoever. And then you won't have seen Loki, I'm guessing, either.
No.
It's kind of setting up season 2 of Loki. I really like Loki. And again, it's a different variant of Kang again. They're sort of tracking. And you're like, okay, fine. Oh, don't know why I did that. So it's going to be lots of different versions of Johnathan Kang, which is fine.
See, his first name shouldn't have been Johnathan. His first name should have been Lewis.
Lewis Kang.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
From Mortal Kombat.
That would have been clever. Lewis. But it's meh. I thought it was just that part was meh. I hope they bring back that version of Kang as the main one. But even oh, God's sake, the version I like is the Kang the Conqueror, the sort of Kang Dynasty storyline, where it's he's got his son and he's kind of got more about him. So he's from the future. He's got all the hyper technology, but he's also, oh, for fuck's sake, he's got his son. He's got a bit more about him. And it's I did, oh, for fuck's sake, sorry. Just let me finish this jump and then I'll finish my thought. Stop it. Is that there was a good theory about that the MCU's played out the way it's supposed to with Iron Man dying, because he basically had to have a reality exist where Tony Stark invents time travel but isn't around long enough to dismantle it. Because Kang's whole deal is that he uses time travel to day hangs, which so again I'd have to explain Loki to you. Basically Loki is establishing that the MCU follows a sacred timeline, they call it. So any sort of variations to the timeline, they have to trim almost like tree branches. So the Loki in the TV show Loki is the version of Loki you see escape in Endgame. The version of Loki in the mainline MCU is dead. He dies. He gets strangled by Thanos. That's him. He's dead.
Okay.
And then they introduced the concept of variants. So you shouldn't exist in the sacred timeline because there's only one timeline. And they're like, and he's like, well, what about the Avengers? And it's like, well, the Avengers was supposed to go that way because they were supposed to break time. That was meant to happen. And it's like, well, who decides that? And ultimately, it was Kang who decided how reality was supposed to play out. And at the end of Loki, Kang is there. Kang is like, right, I'm going to fuck up the central sort of the sacred timeline, whatever. He's like, and he claims it's because he's bored. He's basically sick of.
He's conquered everything.
Yeah, he knows what's going to happen. He controls the sort of branch. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to let chaos reign and see what happens a wee bit. Whether or not that's entirely true, hopefully it'll get explained in season 2 of Loki, because it doesn't seem like that would entirely be the case. But that's the reason he gives. So, Shabushka. Oh, I don't think this is the way we're meant to go anyway.
I think that's just a collectible. This isn't the completionist. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Well, we can if you want, but.
So I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, let's say I don't think it deserves second worst Marvel movie.
Is that what we're focusing?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what's the general consensus worst though?
Eternals.
Oh, is it?
Eternals is the worst Marvel movie.
Well, I haven't seen that.
So,
I think the worst one I've seen is probably Thor 2, and it was not that bad. I just thought it was kind of meh. It was just forgettable. So I can't comment. I'm quite lucky if that's the kind of scale of reference I have. Loki's that. Oh, that's my favourite one. But yeah.
That's it. But considering I've stayed in touch with all this, the only disappointing thing I feel is, Jonathan Major's range has been grossly overestimated.
At least within.
Aye.
Like that.
Aye, based on the 6 variants of Kang, and I hope it's not a pure fucking Kang variant fuckfest for like the Kang Dynasty movie. I hope they do just kind of go, do you know what? The rickest Rick comes back and just sort of lays down the Avengers. Because that would just be so much more interesting than, like I said, the weird Egyptian fucking Kang and all these other shitty Kangs that. And it was like, oh, Lord, check out his range, man. Oh, it's totally not the same actor. It was like, no, it's the same guy. It's the same guy doing shite accents. It's the same guy. There were some stereotypes in there. Oh, don't shoot me, you assholes.
Sending Batarang support.
Much appreciated.
They've taken the concept of batarangs a little bit too literally because like they're not really. Actually, some of them are boomerangs.
Mm.
Oh, right, okay, nah, fair enough. I was just saying like the way that he waits for it to come back. I'm like he just has a bunch of them. They're like shurikens, but actually no, some of them are like boomerangs. It's like that's one of the cool things about Batman. Some people say like, oh, it's annoying, but I totally disagree. Where there's very few occasions where he actually says exactly what's in his belt, so it's almost like a magician. You never know what's up his sleeves.
Oh.
And I think I like that, but like some people, oh, it's lame, it's lazy writing. Oh, kiss my ass, it's lazy writing. Yeah, I'm fart. But anyway, yeah, I've not seen Eternals. Eternals just, I don't think I've ever read any. I didn't even know who they were. I haven't read any of the comics. I'd heard the movie was shit, so I just skipped it. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, aye. You didn't miss anything by avoiding the Eternals movie. Black Knight's in it. Like Jon Snow's Black Knight. I was just like, Kit Harrington, is Kit Harrington into it? You're
Yes.
What the shit? Oh, there it is. I wondered what was happening there.
He
why they cast him as Black Knight is beyond me, man. He must be thinking it himself. He's like, fuck me, I was like the most famous like fucking sword wielder in Game of Thrones, and here I am again, fucking Black Knight. Did he not read the script to figure out what Black Knight's whole deal was?
What is his whole deal?
He's got a magic sword.
Right.
He's basically like King Arthur. He wields Excalibur, and there's some shit about the sword being cursed. So the more people he hurts with it, he kind of develops like a bloodlust or some shit, and it's tied to his immortality or some balls, I think. So what the fuck am I meant to do if that's not the deal? I don't get this. But I man, it's a bad movie, just a bad movie. Just see if there's anything else to smash here.
Yeah, because I mean, like one of the things that people were excited about was like Angelina Jolie's first film in like ages, and I'm like, okay, I mean that's nice and everything, but
and Angelina Jolie,
when that's the selling point, it's always kind of like.
Do you want to climb up there? Were you mad thing? Well, Angelina Jolie is actually fairly underutilized. Like, so what annoys me?
She's too expensive.
Well, that's possibly what it came down to.
We want to have her name on the poster. I'm pretty sure, right, that if you went and
you can break these, I think.
If you looked at the poster or whatever, her name is like the first one on it.
Aye, yeah.
But
she's barely in it. It's disappointing actually because she's not bad in it. She plays Athena, I'm sure, is her character's name.
Oh, right.
And she's kind of like Wonder Woman. So she's strong, she's fast.
You didn't even daft.
And all the Eternals, like, have you? The best person to read is Neil Gaiman's version of Eternals.
I see how he could, because he's the dude that wrote Sandman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, I quite like how he writes about.
Well, he's done it for the modern age. It's a family. The whole point is it's the modern superhero family, and it could have been as good as Guardians of the Galaxy, which was, I'd never really heard the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the movie came out, and I didn't really like the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, did you not?
No, I didn't.
Come and jump on this.
Ah, that's what it is. And I think it's because I just didn't get it. I think it was just a bit too different. My brain just couldn't process it. But watching it back, I think it works. I think Guardians works as a family sort of superhero team, but it needs the two movies, possibly even Endgame as well, to make it work. I felt like it was just too weird when I first watched it.
That's really interesting, because the first one I really liked, and really liked. The second one I was like, that was good, but it was just, I just knew what was gonna, I just knew what was coming, type of thing. So yeah, that's really interesting that you kind of think like the two together.
I think the two together work really well, and with Endgame as well, I think is very good. But I will talk more, I think, maybe about Eternals next time.
Aye.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Tell me about what it's balls.